Wait a minute. Shalom, shalom. In the live chat, it's good to see you. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Hello, everyone in the live chat. It's good to see you. We're going to talk about what actually took place in Buffalo. I like to hear what you have to say, or if you have anything to say about anything that's going on, or anything about what the Most High have shared with you in regards to what we are, where we are at today in this what I look at as in that day. So it's a lot of things going on. Give me some sort of uh, ideal of what you're actually thinking, because you are just like I am. I am just like you are, and we're going through this thing. Okay, we're when I say going through it, we're seeing it. We're living here. We are the living witness of that day in which all the prophets have prophesied. Even Yeshua, he even prophesied many things. But guess what? You are the one that's living in that day in which he have prophesied about, along with a lot of other prophets. They spoke of this day and the things that's going to occur and how it's going to balance. So I, Sister Deborah, would like to hear from you. What do you think about? Let's talk about that Buffalo, New York situation. And then if you have anything else, let's add all that in. Let's just talk. I like to hear you all just express really how you feeling, and what do you think about what actually has taken place. It's very saddening to me because I can't get away from the situation that I am beholding, okay? And how everybody that is actually speaking on this European or heathen, I put it like that, shooting, they're using a lot of, how would I call us? I'm gonna call Negroes to do the interview and to do the cover story of what actually took place. And they're allowing a lot of Negro people to respond at this time. And it just hurts me to see that they have no sympathy on the people that has lost their lives and their families they left behind. I mean, it's nothing said about them, but it's a lot said about this individual, about how he seems like a pretty level-headed, and then they some of them covering that all he had some issues. They using us to speak on behalf of this young man who actually decided to go in and take the lives of many, and of many I say Hebrews. I don't want to say Hebrews. I say Negroes. Okay, and I don't like that because of the fact that why is it we always protect them? We don't want to say anything toward actually what they do and have done. So if you have anything to add to that story about, it's not a story, it's actually something that took place a few days ago, and I'm sure you all have read about it. They want that brother the wrong thing. Can you kind of I know it was one brother that they did an interview right after, or a few hours later. He said he sat down with the shooter. Okay, if they take out 10 of your community, you take out 1,000 people in their community. Okay. Okay. Do you think if we were to do that, it would actually work for us? Being so, you in between one nation is probably from 13% to 16% of the population, and the other nation is a good 60-65% of the population. So even if you did 1,000 uh, uh, of people in their community, or it would spark something that you really wouldn't even think that could be. Yeah, they and that's what happened. And he said if the things that he was saying was kind of sad, because to me it was, because he was supporting the fact that he even spoke about how he bought him a drink. If we talk about the same brother, and he had talked to him the day before, and it was almost like this really was an innocent person, but I don't know what happened. And that makes that statement is going to be one of the main statements that's going to hold up really well in court. That man's testimony, I mean, not testimony, what he was saying, you notice they covered it on all the news media. Him saying he spoke with him the day before. That there is very important for people to really focus on. They wouldn't pick this. If you talk to him the day before, how is it you're making him out to be a different person than the individual that actually went in and did the shooting? You telling the world that this here individual can have really multi personalities, and allowing him to have a mental illness when he go into court. So honestly, the brother kind of covering him. He ain't covering him. He also gave him a good lead way when he get ready to go to court, because he said he was one way. He spoke with him. They sat down and had a long conversation. In a sense, he didn't kill me. He didn't show me he hated me. You see? So what took place in between the time you and I sat down versus uh the next day when you came in and began to take lives like he did? See, a lot of times we're not seeing that. They have always did well with using us to really help them get away with a lot of things. Yes, ma'am. Exactly. See, you know already. You got it. You already know. A race war. That's what it's all about. That's and it's going to. I thought it was just in my state, but this didn't happen in my state. This morning I woke up, and on the news it was talking about, and they were showing the pictures, because I'm like, why y'all, how did y'all video that? It was somebody in their neighborhood. You should have heard the gunfire. Broad daylight, like in the morning time, you know, in the daylight, early daylight. And I'm like saying, all those gunshots. Two people were shot. And it was saying someone came in uh, the I ain't gonna, the Gentile, the white neighborhood shooting with masks, black masks on. And when I saw that, I said, is that not what they wanted? Why are you covering your face? You see, you covering your face with a black mask because you want everybody to think it's who you want them to believe that it is. Take your mask off. You big and bad. What you got a mask on for? And yes, exactly. Exactly. It's all about a race war. I'm glad you said that because that's really what it's going to sum up to be. You are, no, he wasn't crazy, not at all. He was fully aware, even when he told the other um, Gentile that he wasn't going to shoot. He didn't shoot him. You know, in a sense, he said something to him, but he didn't shoot him. That shows you he was in his right mind. But I don't know if you all see that they got a lot of things up for him. I want y'all to understand, before this young man took on this task, they assure him that he will be the fall, but yet they will support him and see to it that they're going to supply him in some way or another and get him out or do something, you know, for him to just, because you got to think this is a young kid. You see what I'm saying? Why would you just go out and do that? You see? They really they either this is your family or somebody. It's nothing wrong with them. I don't think it's nothing wrong with them. And if I believe if because that's if y'all look at all of the reports, it's actually already giving him a lot of escape ways to get out. So that leads me to understand he's going to get away with a lot of it. Oh yes, he will. He wasn't crazy. That's right. Mm-mm. Yeah. And that's real sad because you see the elderly ladies that he shot. He didn't have most of the people were not. I wouldn't say they were up in age, but it's just the idea. Period. Just going into a place and shooting up people, you know, because you. I don't know. It's just to me. I think it's something uh, bigger behind all of it. Oh, they would have killed him at the scene. Oh yeah, but long as he killing his own, like they might have would yeah they it just they I would think that they would have if it was a brother they would have taken his life. Want me to tell you something? I'm gonna tell you what I think. If it was a brother, another brother would have took his life before the police even got there. That just shows you how the mindset of a people are. You see, they would have taken another brother, probably would have shot him coming out just to get the how would I say it? When you seeing them shooting, because for you to go into a community, it sent a statement on the in the United States to the Europeans or to the heathens. Look what we sent one of ours in. He successfully took down 13, 10 dead, 3 wounded, and came out. That's deep. That's a sign in itself, y'all. That is deep. And I think that's sad. Because if you go down anywhere in the black community, they'll shoot you just for walking. And you belong to the community. Talk to me, somebody. They'll take your life. A child can be 10 years old riding his bike. Somebody drive by and shoot him in his own community. You see? But here it is here, heathen. come dead in the midst of the community. And all of them walking around like it's all well. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You see? It's nothing suspicious. But soon as your brother walk in the community, you shooting him down. He's dead. You see, to me, can y'all anybody make sense out of that? You can't. There's no sense to that. If you key up that same location for, let's just say 5 days, how many people got shot in that same location? It'll blow your mind. But then this heathen come in, shoot up people on your turf. Hallelujah. On your turf. And he walks out. Police and ain't running from the police. Walks out. Then when the police get there, he throwing his hand up. My job is done. That was easy. And that's sending the message to all white supremacists, skinheads, KKK. Is that easy? See, a lot of us don't understand. You're not a large population, baby, here in the United States. You're a very, very small percentage. And that's something else that I noticed that does not catch in the minds of our people. That's why it's not right to go around killing your brothers and your sisters and your mother and your fathers and your children. It's not. Why are you doing that? Because you bringing your own nation down for the heathens. Does that make any sense? And they send back laughing. Look, this one man that I was renting from, he said this here a couple of years ago. He said, why is it the black people killing each other like crazy? I'm like, it's actually white people killing too. You mean, why is the black people being shown as the one that's killing? He said, yes, but they're killing for nothing. They're killing their people. They're killing their children. They're killing their brother and they sisters. And this is what he was saying. Now, this is the problem with that. If I try to climb on top of something like that, the first thing the Spirit of the Most High or higher would say, are they doing it? It's almost saying that somewhere along the line, we have covered all our wrongdoings up, even up to today. Now, we are just 13 to 16% of the population. That's not very many. So we couldn't win a war with nobody. Only war we can win is with each other. And that's what we're doing. So when the Bible says nation against nation, that means the people is going to be destroying their own people. So that's exactly what our people are doing. Oh, yeah, he might get away with it. I think he was offered something, and I think his family is fully aware of it. Did y'all see what they're saying? That last year he had a mental evaluation last year. See, all this stuff is coming up now. You see, but I'm gonna tell y'all the key issue. The key issue is when they interviewed this Negro man. He had to have been probably like 55 years old. They interview him, and I like, where did he come from? Where did they get him? What is going on? He's on there saying that he sat down, he saw that guy the day before, and he saw him. He was wondering what he was doing over in that community. And he sat down, and he had a shirt that says that he's something, a genius. And he asked him, what did that mean? And they sat down and they talked, and he even bought him something to drink or something like that, or maybe something to eat. And they sat down and talked like it wasn't nothing. See, that's showing you right there showing you the state of mind of this man yesterday when he sat with this man, not yesterday, but when he was with this black man, is totally different from the state of mind of when he went to do the shooting. You see how they got somebody in there that quick to cover up. You see, it's sending two stories. It's sending a a signal that, okay, we got to cover you up and let's get everything we can to do that. And that bothers me because what else bothered me, there was three, uh, one was a SWAT. He works with the SWAT team. He's retired from the SWAT team there in Buffalo, New York. And these other two detectives, they were saying, and they black, they interviewing them. They said one reason why they didn't shoot him is because the law said that we can't just shoot. And I'm like saying, brother, where were you when they shot down so many other black people? I just don't get it. I don't get, and I'm sitting here listening to all these brothers talk, trying to justify how they took this young man and he was transported with no harm, no danger. And if that was a Negro man or brother, he wouldn't even. That's what they were talking about. Wouldn't even live. So that's something wrong with that. And then who do they get? Who do they get? Our Negro brothers. That's who they get to cover up everything. And see, this is where I was saying the nation of Judah, something wrong somewhere. They can't see none of that. Yeah, you're right. You are exactly right. We haven't seen nothing. Thank you for saying that because that's also the same thing I say. I say that all the time. I even say it to my children. So you ain't seen nothing. You are so right. Not yet. And that's why I said, but the reason why Sister Deborah says something is so people can understand it's time to get our inner man right with a higher. Okay? Because it's Proverbs 16 and verse 4. He said, he created the evil, the wicked, and the evil for the days of evil. So don't think that these days is not given to the evil today. These days have been assigned to those who do evil. So if we think for 1 minute we're going to get on here, here and think that, oh, it's no evil out here. Come on. They're coming for us. They're coming for us, you guys. Yeah, he might get away with it because you should see, what they're doing and what I heard that they're having him for a 1 count, and that don't make no sense either because and another thing, y'all, when you see anybody talking about what took place, they always got Negroes on the news talking about it. Always. It's amazing how they put us up on the front line when they do things to us. And our people just smooth it with icing. Just they just make it look so, oh, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just amazing how they have done that for so many years. Yeah, they are. And I'm gonna tell y'all right, they really are. Even though y'all gonna come for them, but it ain't gonna stop them for coming toward us because guess what? It's prophesied. It is prophesied. It is. And a lot of things I'm gonna tell y'all also in the Bible that is the prophecies and that has been prophesied out of the mouth of Yah. And because we can't distinguish what comes out of the mouth of Yah and what comes out of the mouth of man, when you don't have the Holy Spirit, you can't separate the two. But with the Holy Spirit would teach you within you how to separate what proceed out of the mouth of man and what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. When you hear out of the mouth of Yah what is going to take place, see, man cannot say anything about death, okay, or dying. Why? You remember when Yeshua, he was teaching and a lady came to him with two sons. And she asked him, can one sit on the left and on the right in the kingdom? And he told him, it is not given unto him. You see, it is not given unto him, but unto the Father. And it even tell you more than 2 or 3 times that he say, these things no man knows, not even the Son, but the Father. See, that's what we don't understand. So what is also leading you, even with Yeshua, the Son of Man, he even would tell you, this is not of me, but my Father. Letting you know he can't call certain shots. You see what I'm saying? But if Yah called a shot, you can be able to read the biblical and hear Yah call the shot. There are times, let me tell you, let me give you one example. Hold on, let me see. Do I know where it's at? Okay, let me give you one example. Jacob was getting ready to die. His hours was near. And he was getting ready to die. So he said, gather yourselves, sons of Jacob. It didn't say sons of Jacob. Jacob said, gather yourself together so I can tell you what is going to happen to you all in the days to come, meaning you and your generation. You know, they didn't gather. They wouldn't come. They wouldn't come. They would not come. So what happened? A higher stepped in. Let me get that. Anyone has that verse? Let me get that. Jacob said, gather yourself together, you sons of Jacob. Let's get that. And that
according to Bible, King James Version, 49. And
okay,
Jacob
there it
called
is.
Unto his son.
49. Now watch this here. This is where I was saying, that's Genesis 49. Jacob is saying something, but watch how what proceed out of the mouth of Yah steps in and say something. See, when you read in this word, I'm going to tell you the truth. You cannot hear what proceed out of the mouth of Yah unless you have the Ruach HaKodesh in you, which is the Holy Spirit living in you. And it is of Yah. You see, you have to be, let's go to Genesis 49 so I can give you some sort of example. Now, honestly, let's go 10 million people can read this verse and they would never be able to take you to it and see exactly what's taking place. That's Genesis 49. Genesis 49? Now listen to this here. This is where the voice of the Most High comes out. He don't have to come. We think he have to shut up and we have to read of him. No, you don't, baby. He can speak and speak loud and be heard. You see, a lot of people don't know nothing about that because they care not. Okay. So, let me see, the fallen angels, they're not taking it very well. Okay, shalom. Okay, listen to this. 49, Genesis. Now, this is the beginning of the book. And another thing I think is a lot of things that people have not really focused on in the beginning. And when I say in the beginning, I'm talking about Genesis, y'all. Oh, that is a book that throw up and can throw down. Genesis chapter 49, Jacob, verse 1. Jacob called. See? So who is this talking now? Jacob. It says, Jacob called unto his sons and said, now we know that Jacob is saying this, gather yourselves together that I, Jacob, may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. You see what he's talking about? What day y'all think he's talking about? Especially the days of even work in which we are living in. He's given us the insight because Yah had already blessed him. Okay. And he gave the 12 sons the insight of each one of them, letting them know who they really were. And did y'all know that Jacob wasn't sounding too good about it? Meaning he wasn't giving them no lie. He was giving them the truth about how ugly they were. You think they wanted it? They couldn't care less what Jacob said, even to today. They always talk about Jacob trouble, all our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they have not held firm to nothing Jacob has said. Now listen to Jacob. Jacob was talking in 49. Chapter 49 of Genesis, the verse 1, Jacob called unto his sons, and he was saying, that's what it said. Now watch this here. You go into verse 2. If you have your Bible, you will see in verse 2, somebody is saying something, and they ain't playing. But it's not Jacob. Who is it that has that power to come in when he want to, say when he want to, when he want to, and how he want to? The Most High Ahia. Why? Because Jacob couldn't get them together. Jacob said in verse 1, I'm going to say verse 1 and verse 2 the way the Spirit gave it to me. He said, Deborah, look at Genesis chapter 49. Listen to Jacob. And Jacob, verse 1, Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. You see how he's telling us? See how he's talking to us? You see how he is talking to us? Here it is, Jacob finna die. He's in his last hour. He's getting ready to die. And he sent a message to you. Is that not, if that's not beautiful, y'all? Y'all don't think there's something beautiful about that? But watch this here. Verse 2. Gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father. See? Who is that talking? That's not Jacob. That's Ahia. He's telling them, get your butt in there and hear what your father has to say, because he finna seal something in you for the last days. Can Jacob do that? No, Jacob didn't have the power to do that, but Yah did. Yah put it in Jacob to tell his 12 sons what is going to happen in the last days. Out of Jacob's mouth, Yah allowed Jacob to speak to them what Yah knew what would befall them in the last days. Was it coming from Jacob, or was it coming from the Father? It was coming from the prophecy which were predestined and ordained from the Father in the spirit of Jacob, the father of the 12 sons. So Jacob is saying it in verse 1, but when you get to verse 2, that's Yah. He said, gather yourself together and hear, ye sons of Jacob. See, he calling the sons of Jacob out. Now listen to this. And hearken, listen to your father. See, he's telling them to listen to your father. You know that ain't Jacob. That's somebody else. That's Ahia. See, this is what he said. Every word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah. When you read this Bible, there are times I can be reading and I can hear somebody talking. I can hear the person that's speaking. Then all of a sudden I hear something. I said, wait a minute. Who's saying that? Who is that in there? Who is that talking? Then I realized it's the Most High. Ahia stepped in the verses and started talking. See, you would never know, because they don't teach people that. They don't let you know. If when he said every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah, he for real. That's why he said you're going to divide. You're going to have to divide what man is saying, and you're going to have to divide what I am saying. But how can you divide it without the Ruach? You can't. That's why he said, when you study, shut your mouth. When you study, shut your mouth. Your studying is only for you. Show thyself approved. Rightly dividing the word of truth. What Sister Deborah always say? Spirit of truth. Nobody can handle that. You're dividing it from what comes and proceed out of the mouth of man versus what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. It has to be divided. Because man can put anything in the book. But the Ruach knows what's true and what's proceeding out of his mouth. Now you can get 10 million people to come together on Genesis 49 and verse 1 and verse 2. First thing they will say is, that's definitely Jacob talking the first verse. Well, who is that talking the second? They wouldn't be able to tell you. The only one that has the power to step into anything and go in and come out when he's ready. That's who's saying that. That's who's saying, gather yourself together and hear ye sons of Jacob and hearken unto your father. This is what Yah is doing. Because they wouldn't gather the last day of their father's death. They didn't gather. They wouldn't come together when Jacob told them. You know why? Who in the live chat would think that they would know why Jacob's sons wouldn't gather? Why wouldn't they gather together? Why wouldn't the 12 sons of Jacob, why wouldn't they gather? Why did Ahiah have to step on the scene? Tell him, get your butt in there and listen to your father. Why? Why did he have to do that? And he leaves a token for Sister Deborah so I can see him stepping in. I said, I see you, Father. I see you. 99.9 wouldn't even see it. But why did Yah have to step into them? Because they wouldn't gather themselves. And Jacob was getting ready to die. Anybody know why Jacob, his sons wouldn't come together? Why wouldn't the sons of Jacob come together? Their father getting ready to die. Why wouldn't it? Anybody in the live chat? And this is actually where we stand today. Same way. Same sons. Same ways. Same ways. Same stiff-necked rebellion and disobedience. Why wouldn't they gather together? Why did Ahiah have to come and charge them to get together? Why did he have to come on the scene? Why did he have to speak? Want me to tell you? I hear you. You know why? And then it's sad too, y'all, because a lot of mothers are suffering in this situation. And there are some fathers that's suffering in trying to get their kids to do what's right. Or to let them know that if you keep going down this road, this is what it's going to be like. Okay, y'all, I'm going to tell you. Let me see. Oh, my Lord. And you knew it. You good. You good. They were wicked and knew Jacob. You got it. You got it. You got it. Was going to give them truth. That's why they didn't want to come together. You nailed it. You nailed it. You could have said it no better. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Because when you listen to Jacob tell them who they are, it's ugly, y'all. Even Judah, the tribe of Judah, he tell them, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're gonna stay down. You're gonna stay crouched down. And then he tell them like an old lion. That means you for generation all the way to the end, you ain't gonna do nothing about nothing. You just gonna be crouched down, lazy, ain't gonna do nothing. Until who come? Until the Father send the Son. They ain't gonna get up and do nothing. And see, the women and the men that's learned, they ain't gonna teach you that. They only give you what they want to give you. They ain't gonna teach you the spirit and truth part of it. And the spirit and truth is not, understand this, spirit and truth is not you and I. Spirit and truth is the truth of the matter of what the Father intend for his purpose to be heard in righteousness, in just, you see, not in a lie to make people participate and join in, you know. And you said it, you nailed it, because that exactly, if you start from, then you go to verse 3, you can see where he already telling them about their wicked. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I said you hit it on the nail, because the moment Yah told them, gather yourself together, the sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel, your father, he had to tell them that. He had to tell them, Israel. He had to tell the whole house of Israel to hearken to their father, because they wouldn't even come in there. And then you see, when you go to verse 3, guess what? That's where you read all down the wicked that Jacob was calling out. Isn't that deep? But what about thinking about how sad it is for Jacob? One of Yah's elect seed had to leave with them how wicked they were before he left. Why? Why didn't he instill things in him like Isaac did? You see, or like Abraham did Isaac, or like Isaac did Jacob. You see what I'm saying? Why didn't they leave something else behind? No. Didn't Isaac leave a blessing on when he touched Jacob? Didn't Abraham lead a blessing to Isaac? What happened to the blessing to the Israel? I mean, to the 12 sons. Jacob wasn't giving them no blessing. He was giving them what you just said, truth. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm talking about spirit and truth, that's what I'm talking about. The truth of the matter. They won't teach you that. They won't teach you that. Now, this don't have nothing to do with a woman. This is Jacob telling these men how ugly you are. And that's what you see in the world today. Cutting up from the floor up, and they don't see nothing wrong with it. But the reason why Sister Deborah talked the way she talked is because, hey, I go all up in Jacob. I've heard the spirit of Jacob. Y'all have suffered Jacob's spirit to come and tell me some things. You know why? Because I'm bullheaded. I'm bullheaded. I get to ask the Father, well, what about this? And what about this? Before he even sit and waste his time with me, he said, Jacob, tell her. Solomon, tell her. Jeremiah, come tell her. Ezekiel, would you please tell her? And I love it. I love every bit of it. Because when they come in like, bam. And I be like, what? And it's almost like they are my brothers giving me some sort of assurance that I'm not off balance. I'm right in there with the questions that I'm asking. Because this is how they felt. This is what they went through. The same thing I go through is asking God all these questions. That's why. So they just telling me when, okay, I'll help you with that because I was there too. And I love the way the Father does it. And some people say, well, he don't let them spirits come back and talk to you. You sick. You sicker than sick. Because when you come to know who he is and all that power in him that created your ugly tail, don't say what he can't do. This creator said to us, I will let the rocks cry out to me. The mountain. Now, tell me who allows rocks to praise him and to cry out to him. Who will allow a donkey to speak? And then you sitting here telling him what he cannot and what he can and cannot do. See, we estimate he is like unto a man. Y'all, he's way beyond that. He's way beyond a man. He's way beyond. So it just doesn't help to think that he is somebody who can't do this and can't do that and can't do what is his. He do whatever he wanted. Why? They say he's the potter of the clay. You see, he can do as he pleased. And can't nobody do nothing about it. You see? So it doesn't matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. Because he's going to make it the way he has designed it before the foundation of the world. And he can send anybody's words, spirit, or their experience to you. And how? When they speak to me, they speaking straight out of the word, this book, the words that's in here. He would say, tell us, Solomon. And Solomon, I end up in a verse up in Solomon. And he's saying something similar to the question that I'm asking the Father. I'll be like, oh, so Solomon, you went through it too. See? Take you right back to the individual that had gone through it as well. Isn't that beautiful? So I believe this is that is. Don't think that a higher has to deal with you the way the flesh of man said that he has to deal with you. Okay? Look at everything going on in the world with this here shooting and all this other, y'all, there's so much stuff going on. Why isn't anyone seeing what's going on at face value and speaking against it? Nobody saying a word. But then one would get on here and speak against what I'm saying. Does that make any sense? I'm gonna tell y'all, when I first started, I wasn't in the black box. I wasn't in the little black box. The little black box here on uh, uh, YouTube is a little black box where they got all the Negroes in it. That's it. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I wasn't in that box. I started off out of that box. My viewers and subscribers were Europeans. Mhm. And I came in just as bold as I am today. I had people saying my supervisor on my job told me to tune in to you because to hear what you were saying. But I think you wrong and you this and the heathens, just heathens everywhere, everywhere. Just getting the mad. Then I had this man, this foreign man from another country. I think it was Iran. He was speaking. He told them that this lady started off and everything she said was true. She is a true prophet. Now listen, I said, okay. So every time I get on there, he will say that. And then this other young Hebrew woman, she say, wait a minute, I don't understand. Miss Deborah don't have that many subscribers. Miss Deborah don't have that many likes. How did she get all of you all on here? She must be saying something right. Because I mean, them heathens didn't like nothing I was saying. And those were my subscribers and my viewers, you see. So when I shut mine down after a year, I shut it down. And when I boot back up, they put me in the little black box. That's sad, ain't it? They put me in the little black box where all the other Negro people were at. And see, that's why our people don't understand. You ain't nowhere. Don't put yourself so high on this Deborah platform. You can have 1 million views. They're going to still keep you in that black box. They ain't going to put you over there with the heathens. Yeah, heathens going to show up on YouTube, you know, but they going to show up, but they ain't going to put your page in the eyes of the heathens, you know, and the Gentiles. They're not going to do that. Now, they can't stop others from coming in and going, now I ain't gonna say through the box, going knocking on the box, asking for different topics, and that's how they end up on the box. I mean, in the box, listening to you, but outside of that, they ain't putting you nowhere. That's why they got all of us in the same category. You get on here, the people that I used to have. I mean, it was less than. I think it was less than 6 months. I had got up to like 4,000. It was like 3,800 and something subscribers, but they were Europeans. You see what I'm saying? Once I shut down, because I had them heated. They was heated toward what I was saying. And when I shut down, next time I got back on YouTube, they put me in a little black box. So no one else can hear the message. But with that being said, I'm saying that we are in a situation to where, and don't think that I don't like the situation. I do, but don't forget we are human. We do feel, okay? I think we are in a situation where we're going to be here to see some things, y'all. We're going to be here to see some things take place. And if we keep stepping into that light and remain in that light, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right. Because there's going to be many going to be running to that light. And they ain't going to mean you any good now. I'm going to be honest with you. But then there's going to be those that are going to be coming to you that's going to mean you some good. And God's going to send them. Because you're going to have to be the light that's going to be amongst your whole tribe and amongst those Gentiles also in the world. You see what I'm saying? Everybody is going to be looking and trying to find some sort of peace within themselves. And you're going to have the answer. You're going to have the word in spirit and truth to feed it to them. And don't y'all think that's beautiful? In the midst of all the chaos and the storm, y'all gonna use you to be the one that be the light that sits in the midst of darkness. And they gonna be trying to get to that light just so they can get a peace, some peace. You see? So people who, to me, people who really don't focus on books and all the things that everybody, because he said also it's going to be a time. I don't know if y'all know this here. They're going to take these away, baby. And if you get caught with these, you're gonna lose your life. They're gonna take these away. Which a lot of us, I'm gonna show you something that's deep in spirit and truth. I used to say all the time, there's gonna be a time they're gonna take this away. And guess what the Father told me? He said, Deborah, what time is that? He said, they already did that. I said, but Father, when? He said, when they changed to New King James, New Edition, New Version, they took it away and named it something else because they added to it. So it was already, how would it say it? It already started to the point where you're going to pick up a King James, okay? And you're going to think you're reading the King James, and guess what? It's not going to be even a King James. So a lot of it is going to be what he's saying. It's going to have to be in here. So when you running and you traveling through all this evil and chaos, you ain't going to be able to pick up no book. But guess what? It's going to be living in you. Yep. And they think they're doing a good job by putting him in the box. They really think, but they don't understand. They're evil and they wicked. So they don't even understand. They ain't even got no box to put him in because can't no box hold him. But do you know what though? If y'all ever tried it, read Romans 1. In Romans 1, going back to where I'm saying, read Genesis chapter 49, verse 1 and verse 2. Hear Jacob talking, trying to get his sons together. They won't come together. Verse 2, who is that person telling them they better get their tails together? That's the Most High, higher. Because he ain't saying, Jacob, he's letting them know, your father, do what your father told you to do. Get your butt in there. You should, when you read it, that is exactly what the Father is trying to say. Not trying, is saying. Now, I was just saying something about, it was another verse I was going to. I'm going to have to come back to it, where I heard the Father speak, and I was like, what you doing up in there? Where did you come from? And it was very important. I'm going to have to come back to that. But, Romans chapter 1. In Romans chapter 1, I'm gonna tell y'all this is another one that's really deep. Romans chapter 1 is telling you some things now, but I'm gonna tell you, you ain't gonna handle it because see where we at today and where we have been in life, we don't want to accept this. Romans chapter 1. Now this is another one that they would get rid of because he's talking here in Romans chapter 1. In Romans chapter 1, in verse 16. In Romans chapter 1, verse 16, I want to share something with you. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. The gospel of Christ. The gospel of the power. That's what they're saying. The gospel of the power. Now watch this here. For it is the power of, it is the power of Yah. You don't see Yeshua there, do you? You don't see what they call Jesus next to Christ, do you? You know why? People never realized that the power of Yah was Christ and is Christ. That's his right hand that he sent down with Yeshua to do all the miracle signs and wonders. It was his right hand, his only begotten, because he only got one power. And he created it as the Son of Man to go down with. the son, not as the son of Yah to go down with the son of man. And this is another prime example that Christ plays one role and the son of man plays another. There's a son of man and there's a son of Yah. Okay, the son of Yah is the right hand of the Father who created everything that Yah said, let, bam, and it was, let, bam, and it was, let, bam, and it was. Okay, so it wasn't no need for Yah to say, and it was good. Why? Because he the one created. So he was just saying it was good what my right hand did. You see what I'm saying? He knows what he's saying, and he's about what he's saying. He ain't cutting up. He ain't gonna make it easy for nobody to just understand it. He figured if you ain't of me, you ain't gonna do nothing. Nothing at all, not a thing. So here in verse 16, and he said, Romans chapter 1 and verse 16, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yah until salvation to everyone that believes, to the Jews first, and also to the Greek. Now, verse 17, for therein is righteousness of Yah revealed. Therein is righteousness of Yah revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. And faith is also a spirit of the Most High. Okay, so therefore, the spirit of the Most High Yah it sits and it says here. It sits here and it says here in 17, for therein is righteousness of Yah revealed from faith. That's the way you know that faith is a spirit. It's a gift from Yah. It can be revealed. You being able to have faith in him can be even revealed because you are walking in him and you're trusting in him and believing him through the faith, the spirit of faith that he has given you. A lot of us think that faith is a part of who we are, that we pretend that we are upholding, but it's not. Faith is a gift from Yah that he put in you, so that he is in you too, is to help you to just keep trusting him. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful that we can keep trusting in him because he put something in us so we can keep trusting in him? Because if he didn't put it in there, we wouldn't. But listen to this. In Romans 1, for the wrath, listen to this, for the wrath in chapter 1 of Romans and verse 18, for the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of, I don't know if y'all got your Bible, of men. See, Yah has revealed. He said, I revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. M-E-N. See, people don't believe it. They think Sister Deborah's mean. She always talking negative about men. Let me tell you something. Tell you what. Catch me on the other side. And then you understand it by and by. Y'all been talking to them from the beginning. So what's wrong with Sister Deborah saying what he said in here? See? Because they don't want you to do that. They don't want no part in that. Okay? Now it says, this is what he did. He says, for the wrath of Yah. Why, Father, so? Why? He said, Deborah, because my wrath is revealed from the heavens. Why they don't teach that? I wonder. He said from heavens is his wrath revealed. From heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men. Okay? Who holds the truth in unrighteousness. What do y'all think about that? That holds the truth in unrighteousness. You see? That's sad. That's real sad. He's sitting here talking and we ain't listening to nothing. Now, no way Paul or Peter can make that statement. Let me say that again. This is where this is how he said every word that proceed out of my mouth. Because there are statements that man cannot make. And Yah is speaking to us all kind of things. And we are ignoring what he said. And ain't taking him at his word. We go in here, we find out what, we find out what Adam is saying. We find out what Abraham is saying, Isaac is saying, Jacob, Moses, David, everybody is saying. We take all that and we precept it and we line it and we little here. But wait a minute, hold up, bro, hold up. Try precepting what proceed out of the mouth of Yah. See how far you get. See how far you get then. See if you can precept every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. Now listen to what I'm saying. If that's a good thing to do, y'all. Let's try that. We're gonna come live one day next week, and we're gonna try it. We're gonna try to bring out verses, precepting, lining, and little here and little there out of the mouth of Yah. Let's do that. How about that? No, they don't want that, but let's do that. You see, we're gonna see, can you precept? Can you line? Little here and little there. The word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. Guess what it's going to take you? A place you've never been before. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to see things that you said. You're going to say, I didn't know that was in there. I didn't know he said that. I can't believe that. I never heard of that. I never thought of that. You see, just like I took you to Jacob. In the beginning book, Genesis, he's telling his son to gather themselves together. And they didn't want to come together because they knew he was going to tell them they wicked, what they wicked was consist of. You know why that's deep? And the reason why a lot of our brothers wouldn't teach that is so highly deep. It matches the stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient people. You see why Jacob and Isaac and Abraham wasn't called, or David and Solomon, they wasn't called stiff-necked rebellion. But when Jacob couldn't get them to come together, that right there is rebellion. You see, they stiff-necked. I ain't going in there, because they knew his time was going. Now say, watch this here. If he was calling them in to bless them, they would have come running. And they probably would kill each other to be the first one to receive the blessing. Am I right? Come on, somebody talk to me. Am I right? They will be running, probably one saying, I'm going to kill this one so I can get the blessing. I'm going to kill this one so his hands can be on me first. If he was telling them something that's going to lead them to blessing, right? That's deep, ain't it? But let me tell you, he was calling to tell them how wicked they were. And they run around here, we the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah, you're the ones he called stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient. No, they won't take on that. Oh no, they won't take on that. But the thing about Jacob, you see how I'm bringing up issues in that one chapter of Jacob, that one chapter, 49 of Genesis, verse 1 and 2. You go in there and you see the two. You hear what comes out of Jacob's mouth. Then you hear what comes out of Yah's mouth. And then you wonder, wait a minute, what Jacob's began to tell them. You saying, oh, who dies and tell their kids stuff like that? Jacob. Why? Because Yah was right there with him to support him in telling them. So while y'all sitting here running around here want to say that the heathens done this and the heathen, let me tell you something, baby. You're ugly people before your own forefather, which was seeds of Yah, was trying to tell you how ugly you were. And you didn't want to listen. So here it is, thousands of years later, you want to make the whole world think you God most gift to the world. And you've been lying ever since. Why do you think Moses had a hard time with the children in Israel after he brought them out of Egypt? Why did y'all don't understand? These children been like this for a long time. We can't change them. These men been like this for a long time. It ain't nothing we can say, nothing we can do that would change them. Nothing but pray to the Father, Ahaya, that his will rest on them to do his righteous and upright will out of his own heart, not even out of yours. Not even out of yours. You see what I'm saying? So I say to you all, a lot of things, like we were saying, a lot of things is here. And if you get in the right place with Ahaya, please get in the right place with him, because he wants to use you. He wants to use you so he can speak out of you. You see, he don't want us to just use us to just stand here with the light, stand here knowing spirit and truth. That's not what he wants us to do. He wants us to go to the top of the mountaintop and proclaim spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is him. The words that proceed out of his mouth. I said something that was really kind of, and I kind of feel good about it, because I'm gonna do it. I'm going out there. I'm going all the way. I never thought to do that, though. I said it to you all before I even thought it, so I know it ain't in my words. When I said to y'all just now, let's try precepting, line, little here and little here, every word that we can read in this book when y'all start speaking. And it tells you, and y'all said, and y'all said, and y'all said, and y'all said, and y'all said. Let's find us verses to precept and line and little here, and it'll blow your mind where it end up. And you'll say, you mean all this other stuff that's going on, and they said it, do this, dress like this, eat like this. You mean to tell me none of that came out of the mouth of Yah? See? It'll blow your mind. And see, that's where I'm at mentally, spiritually. I am there. I'm there, and I can't go no further, but you can. You can. Y'all didn't make me the whole body of Homicide. He didn't give everything to Sister Deborah. Deborah's short a lot of things. But when you come buckling up on me, you better come spirit and truth. Don't come here with those books. Words proceed out of the mouth of man, and nothing you talking about is out of the mouth of Yah. That's crazy, y'all. It doesn't make any sense. That's why the things that's happening today, y'all have the key. Y'all have the key. Why it's happening, the way that it's happening, y'all have it. Use it. Use it. Stand on the mountaintop. Standing on the mountaintop, when you see it, proclaim it. Because guess what? Even though if the world don't hear your voice, guess what? Y'all do. Y'all do. Y'all say, do you see that, Deborah? This is what he used to tell me. He said, now, look at that. And even when I was a young teenager, he said, look at that. You see what you see? And I might see it, and sometimes I don't see it. But when he finished with me, guess what, y'all? He turned that thing inside out, outside in. I'm telling you, he turned it to where it's no way you're going to walk away and not understand it to its fullness. See, a lot of people thought that understanding was as it is defined. But in the spirit and truth, understanding is the Ruach HaKodesh. It's just who he stands for. That's why he said, remember he said, in all your getting, get understanding. He said, in all your getting, he didn't say get wisdom. In all your getting, he didn't say knowledge. He said, in all your getting, get an understanding. Because understanding bust all that off, knock it off the ballpark. Why? Because understanding is letting you know what took place before the foundation of the world. That's what understanding is. It is of Yah. Now, you can understand in your flesh. You can get wisdom in your flesh. You can get knowledge in your flesh. And that's what 99.9 is running around here in. Flesh wisdom, flesh knowledge, flesh understanding. What's wrong? Can someone tell me in the live chat, what is wrong with fleshly understanding, fleshly knowledge, and fleshly wisdom? What is wrong with that? Anybody in the live chat, would you happen to know? What is wrong with that? What is wrong with fleshly wisdom, fleshly knowledge, and fleshly understanding? Can anyone in the live chat? Is something wrong with that? Let's take, for instance, this incident that actually took place with this young man going in here and taking them lives. What's the understanding in that? Can somebody talk to me? What is the understanding in what took place? There's some understanding in it. But it's not the same understanding that's in the flesh. But there's some understanding in the spirit realm in what he did. You know why? We don't, he said, they seek not after that which they cannot see and yet believe. They only want to see it and believe it. And when you see it and believe it, what is that? Your flesh, because you're seeing it with your natural eyes. But you greater and you more powerful when you can see it, not out of your eye. You can believe it because you can see it in your spiritual sight. That's powerful because you'll know, you have the understanding of it. See, you understand based on what you see and believe. Try believing what you cannot see, hallelujah, and believe. You know why? Because what you cannot see, but yet you can believe, is because you don't see it. You see it in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual understanding. So there's two understandings. There's one for your flesh and there's one for the spirit. Okay? So, yeah, that's what Paul said. That is true. It's all spirit and truth. And always hold on. Don't let nobody, never, ever let nobody take that from you. Family members, friends, strangers, church member, pastor, bishop, priest, the government, the system. Don't ever let nobody take that, because that's what you're going to be running with. Spirit and truth. That's what we're going to run with. Spirit and truth. Now, you can understand in your flesh. And the only reason why people can understand in their flesh is because they believe in the things of the flesh. They can't see beyond the flesh. That's where the whole world is built up on. What they can see and believe. What they can study and believe. What they can show from the signs and believe. But this thing is bigger than that. Why? Because everything was. That means before heaven and earth was even created, guess what? Everything was. So whether they believe it or not, what they believe is based on what they can see. Try believing in what you cannot see. That's what Yah wants you to do. He said, try believing in what you cannot see. Because if you believe in what you cannot see, now you're walking in spirit and truth. Because he shows you things in the spirit. He ain't got time to show you it first in the flesh. He wants to show you it in the spirit. So when you see it in the flesh, you can say, bam, there it is. You see? But nobody wants you to know that. No one wants you to have that understanding. No one wants you to even touch that type of realm. It doesn't. You are so right. Don't have it don't have no dealing at all. And I like the way you said that, because that is even in the Bible saying you fight up against it. Y'all battling the spirit are always battling the flesh, because the flesh don't want to have no dealing, because he can't deal with the spirit. So he fights against the spirit, because the spirit means good. It want to do right, y'all. So there's two sides to you. In Genesis, he said, when they had sinned, he said, now man has become like one of us, knowing, we know good and evil. They have become like one of us, knowing this. Now that they have stepped into sin, now it's revealed to them good and evil. Where's the good and evil? The flesh is evil and the spirit is good. Now they know that. But he don't let them stop right there. He said, but let me tell you something. I go beyond good and evil. That's why he put the both in the garden. They were together. Good and evil was together. How? Why you say that, Deborah? Because good and evil, before, you can't be good and evil in just the flesh. You see, the flesh don't want nothing good. It's your worstest enemy. But he got good to go with your spirit. So once you bring sin in, okay, now you are aware. Knowledge is just meaning you are aware that now you understand evil and you understand good. They came together. One was for your spirit and one was for your flesh. He knew what he was doing. Look how deep that is. Because he wasn't going to give your spirit evil. He gave your spirit good. That's why he said your spirit is willing, but your flesh is weak. But guess what? Just because your spirit is good don't mean a darn vine. That good cannot outride what he says. But that's what he said. But is a very frightening word when y'all has to say that, y'all. Because I remember being young, I was like, why do you have to say that, Father? But, oh, wait a minute. It's not over, is it? No, it ain't. He said, man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil, but except he reach for the tree of life. And not just reach for it, but Deborah, and except he take of it, eat of it, and live. Hallelujah. Eternal. So it ain't based on how good your spirit is. It's based on if you reach for the tree of life and then you take it and then you eat it. And the ideal of eating it means it's in you. That's that Ruach HaKodesh. That's that thirst. You thirst on the outside to drink the water of life. Drinking and it goes down. See, he's spirit and truth, y'all. I don't know what these people teaching and what they believe. They can believe whatever they want to believe. And I'm going to tell you something. Don't ever go out here trying to battle with people about spirit and truth, because it is the light. And if they don't have the light in their lamp, don't let them come trying to tell you what's what. You get somewhere and sit down and get your oil in your lamp and be ready when he comes. I got my oil in my lamp. He said you the light. So where's your oil? The oil represents spirit and truth. Where's yours? You ain't got none. So don't come mess with mine, because I ain't giving you none. Because I was like, why wouldn't they give them people some oil so that they can be read? No, they didn't get theirs. They don't have none. You don't go giving them. So that means don't waste your time trying to give them every spirit and truth possible, because it's not meant for them to have any oil in their lamp. That's why. But he said good and evil, even if your spirit is good, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. He said, but tell them, Deborah, you better tell them, except they reach for the tree of life and take of it and eat it and live eternal. That's where the eternal is coming, y'all. See, they won't teach y'all that either. They telling you spirit, you Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob kids. You just automatically going to the New Jerusalem. It meant for you because it's got 12 gates. Pray for them, y'all. Pray for them, please. Pray for your people. Outside of y'all's realm. I know that's right. Just pray for your people. But in Romans chapter 1, it says that men has taken unrighteous, even though now see this. Listen, yeah. See, I'm giving you spirit and truth. Spirit and truth is coming out of the mouth of Yah. Watch this here. In Romans chapter 1. And it's good if you have your book. You can go through this here. Romans chapter 1, verse 18. Okay. For the wrath of Yah is revealed. Now, who could be saying that? Do you think Paul know this? Paul don't know that. He don't know what's revealed from Yah. He don't know nothing about the wrath of Yah and how it is revealed. This is what I was explaining to you. When you know what proceeds out of the mouth of Yah is where you hear something's being said and only one can be saying it is the most higher. But his spirit that's in you teaches you how to spot him. Instant. And the first way you can do it is try Jacob in Genesis 49, verse 1 and 2. You hear Jacob talking, then you hear somebody else saying something, and they ain't even identifying who they are. So when I heard it, he said I'm bullheaded. I heard it. I said, wait a minute. Something going on here, Jacob. Who is this down here talking? Who is this talking in verse 2? They didn't come together, huh? I could see somebody in verse 2 is fierce. They saying something. That was Yah. But he said that which proceed out of the mouth of Yah. That means it has to, in the spirit that's in you, have to teach you what is proceeding out of his mouth. Because a lot of times you can miss it. Let's go. Romans chapter 1 and verse 18. Listen to this. For the wrath of Yah is revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, males. And you said this book is for the Hebrew Israelites. It was meant for them. That's what they run around and say all the time. This is our book. This was meant for the tribe, the 12 tribes. This book was for us. And they don't have no respect for the power that rests therein. Nor do they have any respect for every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yah. So listen to what the Spirit is saying. Of Yah said, he said, the men who hold. Father, wait a minute. Father, hold on. Hold on, Father. You mean to tell me these men know the truth and they refuse? He said, well, where are you living? That's what he said to me now. I'm sorry, y'all. They sitting here freely to understand the word, but can they understand it? So here I'm sitting telling you. I gave it to him. Listen to what he said. Verse 18, Romans chapter 1, verse 18. For the wrath of Yah. Now, now this is where I'm coming from. Why would the wrath of Yah, okay, reveal from heavens against? How can the wrath, y'all don't get it. How can the wrath of God, okay, be revealed from heavens against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men? How could that be? Why would you be angry if they didn't know? If somebody bothering them, why are you angry about this? And why is your wrath is out here like that, Father Yah, against the men? You think he's talking about the Gentiles? No. The heathen? No. He's talking about the tribe of Judah. That's who he's talking to. Now here, they'll tell you, oh no, he ain't talking to us now. This book ain't for us right there. Not there. That's why they won't teach you that part. When Yah is telling these men stuff that Sister Deborah is telling you all, they won't cover those. They will never go near that. When it's even coming out of the mouth of Yah, they won't touch it. Now, listen to what he said. Unrighteousness of men who hold the truth of unrighteousness. Now you're making it, you put it together, Father. Because I'm wondering why your wrath is against them. Why is your wrath against these men? He said, because Deborah, look at it. And you're looking at Romans 1 and verse 18. They hold, Deborah, the truth. They hold the truth, Deborah. And how do they hold the truth, Deborah? Father Yah, you say they hold the truth in unrighteousness. So when y'all thinking that these people out here don't know, you think these here house of Israel don't know truth? You's a lie. Because Yah said his wrath, Paul can't tell you that, is revealed from heavens against these men. What men? The whole house of Israel. Why? Because Deborah, they hold the truth. How do he know? He put it in them. He always put it in them. And it's not the Ruach HaKodesh, it's just truth itself. And he said they hold this truth. They holding on to this truth in unrighteous. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested. Is manifested. Is manifested in them. See how they've been lying? You see? He's letting you know they lying, y'all. Truth has already been revealed to them. They hold it under unrighteous. So they holding truth under unrighteous. And then when Sister Deborah come out, call my spirit and truth, they try to play like they in dumb city. They don't know what she been talking about. She ain't talking about what she need to be talking about. She ain't saying it like we say it. She ain't precepting it like we precepting it, because they want to live the lie. And Yah is telling you, because it's no way Paul could tell you this. Only one can tell you this is heaven, from the horse's mouth of Yah. He can only be the one to tell you. And then he turned around and telling you why in verse 19. Because that which may be known of Yah is manifested in them, for Yah has shown it unto them. See, while we running around here trying to make people come to the light and walk in righteous and know spirit and truth, guess what? We just doing what he purposed us, but the job is already done. It's already done. They're going to go in the direction they have been heading for quite a long time. We need the Holy Spirit. You're right. We need him. And we can't do without him. And even in my everyday prayer, and even today when I was driving, I said, Father, you know I can't do without you. I can't do it without you, Father. And I make sure I say that not out of a habit, but out of a feeling. See, we tend to speak it, but we got to feel this thing, y'all. I know that might sound crazy to y'all. I know that might sound crazy to y'all, but I know that might sound crazy to y'all. But we can't go around here speaking this thing. We got to feel it. There's got to be something in us that feel. And boy, I woke up this morning, got in that car, and I was like, Father, I can't do it. I can't do it without you. Just letting him know that without you is nothing I can do. That's right. He said, he gave me a vision. I was in a vision with the four walls. I know it because he showed me that. They don't even want to accept that, babe. The five-fold ministry, they don't accept that. I accept it. You know why? Because I got a lot of gifts. I have saluted the calling for my life. But guess what? I ain't nothing but a pin needle. I ain't claiming to have it all. But would you believe they would not accept the five-fold ministry? Why? That's where the power rests. A lot of y'all don't know that. That's where the true power is resting, waiting, and they don't want you to be partaking in none of that because you'll mess up who they are. We the Hebrew Israelite movement. We the awakening. So they don't want you to know nothing outside of what they want to teach you, so they can put you in another captivity of their own. Yep. That's right. And that's even everybody. Everybody. Don't speak it the way you don't feel it. Speak it the way Yah gives it to you, because that's where the power is at. If he tells you something and he ministers something to your spirit, don't shake it off. Please don't shake it off, because it ain't matching everybody else. Please don't do that, y'all. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, because that is what he's giving for you. He know what he got invested in you. You don't have to match everybody else's and this person saying this and this person said no. He told these people that he has given these things to you are the light of the world. That means even the heathen's going to have to stand down. And you don't see the Hebrews standing up to nothing. This heathen went into this store and took all these lives. Every Hebrew Israelite man on the face of the earth that says he's awakened should have had his tail down in Buffalo, New York. Farrakhan can turn around and form a million-man march just to make that state all the millions of dollars. The men left that man march, and you should see how many of them killed their wives and their children, their mothers. Y'all didn't hear about that, did you? Yes, a lot of them went back, was worse than what they were when they went to the million-man march. Y'all don't get it, y'all. Y'all don't get it. That's why Sister Deborah need that endurance spirit. Sister Deborah need that endurance spirit, because the Most High keeps showing me too much stuff. And it's be like, how you think I'm going to live here and all that? Oh, you gonna live because I'm gonna put something in you to hold you up until the end. And the end don't mean his end is the end to my life, not the end to the New Jerusalem or the promised land. I might not even be able to go to the promised land, might not even be here. But I'm not saying it's far distant. It's right here. It's right here. But I can't count. I don't know the day and the hour in which y'all come for me. The breath out of my nostrils and my spirit is zipped out. I don't know. So I can't sit and think I'm all this and some, and I know the answer to it all. No, I don't. And like someone said something about the fivefold ministry. Let me tell you something, baby. That fivefold ministry is one of the best things that can actually happen amongst the Hebrew Israelites. Yes, yes, yes. They come from among us, but they are not. And what he meaning when he said they come from among us, but they are not all of us. You know what he mean? Just because they are Hebrew Israelites, y'all, hear me and hear me well. Just because they are Hebrew Israelites don't mean they are of us. Except they walk in the order of your Father in spirit and truth. They can kick their tails right back over in the curve and be in their movement, in their call, in their new awakened religion. Oh, your connection was bad. Okay. It's good you were able to. But yeah, because honestly, I sit back and I think of I'm gonna set an example. If you had a son and he was 18, and in Buffalo, New York, he was just walking at the same hour of where that young man killed all those people in that neighborhood, he such as not go into that neighborhood and come out alive if he was a melanated, he was a Negro, a young man. Let's say if he's 16, that's how bad it is. Us, our brothers, are killing one another. And when we overlook that and walk around here, wants to put them on pedestals and not see them the way Yah is teaching us to see them. Don't put them on pedestals. Put Yah up there and leave him. Put them at the bottom step. Where you at? And tell them, come, let's walk this thing together. Let's take one step at a time, because the only one going to be on the top is him. Stop putting these people on this flesh on the top. They need to have their tails at the bottom. Nobody goes to the top. Sister Deborah don't even go to the top. Why? Because if he ordered my steps, he ain't never going to allow me to reach up to no top. Get your butt down at the bottom of the steps and take one step at a time as I lead you behind me. That's another thing. They don't want to get behind him. But what I was saying about that which had taken place, if you were to key in Buffalo, New York, and you key in that same area, how many Black men died in the last 5 days? And then you look at that and you see small kids died. Wait a minute. This young man died. This man died. This elderly died. Well, wait a minute. How did that white boy go up in there? Kill up in a community he had no business in. Kill up, walk out. Nobody put their hands on him. Even waited for the cops to come. And nobody touched him. But if it was their brother, they would have mowed him down. They would have beat him to a pulp. That's sad. And that's, I think, it's where I'm at in my spirit, is these things need be, Deborah. Okay? But know this. It ain't going to get nowhere near better until it has reached the fullness of where he is going to allow it. And I think eyes are going to see what they didn't bargain to see, and their ears are going to hear what they weren't bargaining to hear. Because a lot of people are following a cult, they are following the tradition, they're following a book of man, and they have no spirit of the most higher in them to lead and guide them because they won't shut up. They want. Let me tell you. I'm gonna set an example. If y'all were to come in and sit and abide with them, he'll be trying to teach them, and they be telling him, "No, we got to precept this. Yeah, this said this and this said that." They would try to teach him from the book. And that, y'all don't know this here. That's what's actually happening. That's what's actually happening. Everybody trying to teach the spirit that's trying to get them to learn. And that's a higher. So he decides, oh, I'm not going to abide with you since you know it all. Since you got it nailed, the beginning, you got you a 1611, you got the Torah nailed to the beginning and the end. Oh, you got all the lost books and the found one. I tell you what, go for what you know. I'm going to step on the other side. And they run with what they got. And they base that to be the Holy Spirit. Baby. Did you know the Holy Spirit comes in you, not in the church house? He would come to you by himself, alone in the midnight hour, in the early morning, while you driving, and commune with you and come in you and live with you and abide in you. He don't need you to be locked under the understanding of man's flesh. Because guess why? He don't want us to go, and he said, don't trust no man. You know why? Because man holds his own wisdom in his flesh. He holds his own knowledge in his flesh. He holds his own understanding in his flesh. And why can't those things be manifest in his flesh? Because he got his emotions is in the way. His feelings is in the way. His personal opinion is in the way. All that flesh in the way of its own wisdom, in its own knowledge, in its own understanding. But when you go to the other side that lives in you that's greater, ain't nothing buckle up against him. He's teaching you. He's showing you. And even if your flesh is not receiving it, guess what? It will in due season. Because he'll show up today and it'll bounce in you a week from now. And you'll be saying, but I read that or something. That came from me. I remember that because the Spirit is teaching you. Even when you don't want to. But he ain't teaching nobody who ain't under his Ruach HaKodesh. These people out here so learned, they don't know they left from their right. They don't know if they going or coming. They just thinking they got to get to a place where they can lead you and guide you and rule over you. But I can tell you another thing. A lot of these people don't even, they get on the page and they really don't have anyone listening to them. So they come to your page because they see you having the less of the less. But what's the key to the one that's having the less of the less that they are not seeking after? What is it? The gate that the Most High has spoken unto each and every last one of you. He said it is narrow. You need to get with somebody that's walking in the narrow gate and desire to walk therein. Why? Because he said very few shall find therein. So you find somebody that's walking in the narrow gate, and wait a minute, you mean to tell me I have to find? Yes. And you most likely ain't going to find the narrow gate looking like the broad gate. They have nothing in common. So why, Father Yah? I got a question for you, Father Yah. Why did you have a broad gate if everybody was going in the narrow? He said, because the narrow is too hard to find, Deborah. That's why. You see? Very few in Ahia shall find, because that's the way he orchestrated it. But he said, what this broad gate is set for those who are all alike, They found it, so go. So those is in the broad gate has found their way, and many shall go therein. That's why I kind of feel it's kind of shame. It's sad. I'm gonna say it's sad when people think based on how many subscribers and likes they got and how many praise they get is measuring the fruit of the spirit. Oh, y'all loves me, y'all desires me, y'all want me to do this here because look what he gave me. I got this many people listening. Baby, you in the broad gate big time. But you're just too ignorant to know it. So anytime you are running up on people and you see them, if like say, let's use me. I have said to many people, and I just seen somebody who on here have been on here ever since I've been on here. Okay. He's been with me ever since I've been on here. And he's the broad gate is a gate. He says, not the broad, the narrow gate is a gate that he said very few shall find. So it leads me to understand this is not the narrow gate is not a gate that that's easily to be found. Only he himself had to lead you to that gate so you can find it. And if you think for 1 minute, Sister Deborah gonna say a lot of things that might not be right. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna say a lot of things that might not be right. Okay. I'm just coming as close to the things that he has given me in spirit and truth. I am not perfect. I am not excellent. No. I'm not perfect in the flesh, y'all. I told y'all over and over, I need to be up in the straitjacket if I don't have his spirit in the mental hospital, because that's where I would be. Okay? But you come messing with me in spirit and truth, you're going to be in trouble. Because none of your precepts and your line, your little here and your little nothing going to override spirit and truth. I'm coming from the end of the Father when I speak spirit and truth. Okay? Now, a lot of things I might say ain't connected to spirit and truth. It's not connected to spirit and truth. And that's okay. You see, and that's okay. But I have to know which one comes first. You see, it's what is spirit and truth and not the things that's not spirit and truth. So it's a lot of things I might not know. You know, so therefore, understand that this walk is a personal relationship. Each and every last one of you all. Don't let no one ruin your relationship, your walk and your relationship with the Most High or higher. Okay, we're gonna have to do something about that. I'm gonna have to get with you regarding two of those this morning. We're gonna have to. I'm asking the Father, what did He tell me about that? Because it was something about seizures that He had taught me when I was a teenager. Because my best friend, I didn't know what it was, and that's what she would have every time she come over my house, and I didn't know what it was. I thought she was playing. I wasn't no more than 13, but it was something about seizures. He was telling me what is the front line and the back line of it. So I'm still dealing with that. We are. No one is perfect, but you can be perfect in spirit and truth. That means holding firm to what Yah is teaching you. How would it look like me telling you that spirit and truth is the word? I mean, no. Well, how would it tell? What would I look like telling you what the Father is dealing with you on? You know, how would that look like? What would that look like? It's not right for me to tell you your experience that the Most High is having with you. You see what I'm saying? It's not right. If everybody is so close to Yah, so tight to Yah, and so in there with Him, why are you over here on Sister Deborah's page? You see what I'm saying? Why ain't you got your own page opening up your ugly mouth? Again, they need to learn to sleep with their mouth closed. Now, listen to what I'm saying. If they sleep with their mouth closed, maybe when they wake up, y'all would have spent some time with them in the spirit realm, in visions and in dreams, and teach them something. And then when they wake up, they might know something. But they won't sleep with their mouth closed. They so busy laying down. They run their mouth so much. When they lay down, they still talking. Still talking. Yes. And that's what we definitely have to do. But I want the Most High to give me a word for you, because I remember something that he gave me. And you know what? I just don't know it right offhand. I can remember something that he gave me. And regarding seizures. Because I'm telling you, I had a best friend. She used to come over my house, spend the night all the time, and I go over her house. But I used to think she was just joking when she was going through that. You know, I didn't know what it was. I learned the last time I had found out that it was a seizure, it really hurt me because I thought she was just joking all the time. Yeah. And you know, and I think the another thing, when you walking with the Most High Yah, make sure that it's about you and Him. Okay, don't let no outside interfere with the spirit that's in you, that is abiding in you. Let me give you an example. You remember Yeshua said, "These works I do, thou shalt do greater." See, once we received the Ruach HaKodesh, we were to be able to do great works. But we're trying to match so much of the way man says it is and the way they say it is. Oh, you have to do it this way, this way, this way, or else you ain't who you supposed to be. Sit down, shut up, do it this way. They so geared into that area to where they cannot and they will not allow you to really activate that power that Yah has in you. And and I'm gonna tell you something, y'all. I'm gonna say it right now, and it's sad. It's sad that power that's in us, we can't do nothing with it because we ain't seen nobody conduct themselves like our only example who walked on the earth, Yeshua HaMashiach, that shows the signs and the wonders, showed us how we are to walk and how we are to turn to the Father. And because we didn't want to mimic him, we wanted to mimic Moses and Abraham, David. That's why a lot of them run out here marrying what Solomon had and David, because they mimicking them and refuse to mimic Yah, Son, the Son of Man, who came to be one that we may look at and be able to say, that's it. That's what he did and how he did things. You know, I want to be as close to his ways that he's shown us how to walk with the Father. Oh, they don't. These men wouldn't mimic Yeshua. Oh, no, 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 no. You couldn't get these men to mimic Yeshua. You wouldn't be able to get them to do it. They won't do it. You see how they ripping each other? And you would think, since we're in such a hard the time. Oh, I messed it up. Oh, I was supposed to have been seeing what you were saying. Okay. And you would think that somewhere, because of so much things going on, you would think that would bring the peace, the unity, the togetherness. But I want to tell you, if y'all don't bring it, it ain't going to be brought together. And he's not going to. You find a scripture where he said he's going to bring them together in unity, in peace. Not until he take them up out of here. And they're going through the wilderness and they get into the other side, to the promised land. And that's when he's gonna start cleaning them up once they get to the promised land, not while they're going through the wilderness. So you know what? Chaos gonna be going on during that time too. So that's why I say you ain't escaping. They ain't escaping nothing. But I know in Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel, they talks about our men being destroyed by the sword and also in the war. So what they don't understand, they close their eyes to that too. But the Father is allowing them to close their eyes to it. And that's the key to it. It's what the Father is allowing to take place in the midst of them running their mouth, trying to get somebody to go up under their understanding, their wisdom, and they don't understand. You stay over on that end where your flesh is at. Stay your butt over there where your flesh is at. Don't come over here in spirit and truth because you ain't got nothing coming. Don't just stand down. Like I say, learn to sleep with your mouth closed. Maybe when you wake up, y'all would have been and put you in a vision in a dream and been and taught you something. But they don't want to close their mouth. And it's a sad thing how those who don't even have a page, those who don't even have 2 or 3 subscribers, but they gonna come to the page that's speaking spirit and truth. And see, that's the language they don't know, they know not of. So they can't handle that. Only language they have is to get you in control, to get you addicted to this verse, this verse, this verse, this verse. Oh, this said this, and this said this, and this said that. But what did he say? Every word that proceed out of his mouth. And if the Ruach is in you, he's greater than any word you're trying to speak and trying to say. Go over there and talk about, go over there to Buffalo, New York, and try to minister to them people. Because you ain't doing nothing on this platform. Go talk to these men. Take y'all tails on over there where you need to go and stand up for righteousness. If you want to stand up or you want to try to get on this platform and say something, take your tail on over there. You ain't going to stand up against what that heathen did. No, you ain't going to stand up against him. You'll come over here to a woman's page that you think that you're going to gain leeway. Take your ugly tails over there and find out how you can learn how to bring peace amongst your people regarding what took place in Buffalo. See, you can't do that, can you? But you're all over here trying to get people to hear what you got to say. Sit down. Beautiful. He leads you daily. That's good. And repent. I know that's right. I know that's right. And they ripped it. I don't, you know what? The one that the Hebrew Israelite that I moved from Georgia coming back home to Missouri, I said, oh, I'm going to follow them. I'm going down there to visit. When I saw them, let me tell y'all, this is truth. When I was moving from Atlanta, Georgia, back home, and I was like, oh, I got this here group. Oh, they real good. Oh, y'all, they are good. They are good. But it's just one guy. He had a spot in the middle of his head. And I watched him for 2 or 3 years, just watching him, saying, Father, what is wrong with him? Why is it that he don't want people to ask questions? He don't want nobody. Young guy, one of the youngest one that was there. So you had in that group, it was like, I think like 20 of them. And they come on and they have the elderly and the young. They be in that word job. They be in it. And it was so good to Sister Deborah. Oh, it was so good. So when I was coming here, I said, they're in Missouri and I'm going to go to their place. And that's where I'm going to fellowship and attend. But let me tell you, I was here less than a year and they start to battle against each other. And I'm like, and guess what it was? The elders and the young. But the one that has the black mark in his forehead, he was the one that kept up all the chaos. They didn't want him to rule over them the way he felt he could rule over them because he was going to school to learn about science. He was learning about witchcraft. He was learning about everything he possibly can so he can bring to the YouTube channel. But what he was doing was bringing evil. And he wanted them, the elders, to sit down and shut up and let me rule. They didn't go for it, y'all. They battled. They battled for 2 years until it was to the point where you can see they had a lot of bad words and some threats. And then they broke apart. Then the main guy, my favorite one, he went on the side where the younger ones. And him and the one with the black mark that no one wanted to deal with, he got him, the main speaker, the main good teacher, got him off to the side. And they had their own thing going on. And it ended up now that good teacher is teaching stuff so off the chain and videos regarding letting you see a video for 2 hours, 3 hours, what a white man is saying about us and the history. So everything he putting up now is what the white man is saying. It's amazing. And then they went to the point where you're not supposed to eat nothing but vegetables. Everything else is against y'all, and you're sending, you're abomination. No chicken, no bird, no nothing. And the one with the head, with the spot, the black spot, he gone. And he left the main one sitting alone. And they teaching so much stuff that's so off the chain. And I'm like, people sit up and want to look at it, and their numbers went all the way down. But if you all saw them at the beginning and together, you'll say that's what you're talking about, a good team. You got the elders, you got the young, and they just throwing it out there. And they was really good. But the best teacher left with the young one. And the young one left him hanging when everybody went against him last year. Now he's the only one standing, and he's still eating out of the hand of that young one. And that young one is traveling every state to speak to people about eating, their diet, their skin. And the reason why he's doing that, he's trying to steal the spirit of Dr. Sebi. And the spirit of Dr. Sebi didn't represent your most high, a higher. See, he's studying science and witchcraft. I mean, it's good to read these books so you can be able to know about. No, it ain't, baby. You're entertaining your flesh and spirit, witchcraft. No, it ain't. And then he come back and try to teach us. I told Melly, I said, I would have never thought you would have fallen that far back. I would have never thought he would have fallen that far back. And all of them, the enemies toward each other. It's amazing to see what is going on now amongst our people. Oh, well, shoot, you know who I'm talking about. Are you referring to Melly and Haki? Yeah. That Melly was good, sister. I mean, he was a good teacher. He was a good teacher. And he stuck to truth. I'm telling you, he was good. But the more he'd allow Haki to take over and overpower him, and if you would see them when I'm sure, did you see them when they was with the old heads, all them together? Because them old heads, a couple of them was sharp as a whip. Oh, yes, they were. And it was sad. I was sad that they broke up. I really was. Yep. Mm-hmm. That is so true. I like that idea. The devil came into the scene and y'all allowed him because he knows that they need to go do their own page. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, that's who I was talking about, Melly. I'm sorry. They've been doing that for the last 3 days. So it's all well. It's all well. It reminds me of y'all always say, Deborah, it's okay because did not I put one with Yeshua? Didn't I put him in the midst? I gave him 12, but wasn't one were to go up against him all the way to the end. That's you sure right, Father. Did I take him, Judah, out? Did I take him out from amongst the 12? You sure right. Until he went all the way. He walked all the way with Yeshua. So he never zapped him out of the midst. Because a lot of people don't understand. They need to be in the midst of spirit and truth. Because that's the only thing that's going to make them realize you ain't come to run nothing. Ain't nothing you say and mean anything. And now it's to the point that you don't see any verses coming out. You see them just saying words. Okay? They need to go and let their light shine wherever it can shine. I'm sure it's not shining. Oh, you heard of them. Okay. Okay. But see, I never knew they were a camp. They was a camp. I never knew them to be a camp. They always they were like a church. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I never known them to be a camp because of what Melly, I'm telling you, if you can go back, if you can go way back and hear that man teach, you say, wow. But there was a reason why the father wanted me to focus on Haki, the black mark, and it's growing bigger and bigger and bigger. That black spot is growing bigger and bigger. No, they can't. Yep, that's he was, sister. You know what? One thing about the brothers, I give them credit what credit is due, because we are all in it. Were to be in the body of Hamashiach. Hamashiach is Christ. He's the power. He's the head, and we're supposed to be in this body. And if you know somebody is a good teacher, you give them the credit that's due them. And Melly, oh, let me tell you, was a good teacher. Now listen to this. But Haki was a good teacher, but the Most High kept showing me that he had a different spirit. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, he was showing me that he was really there just to usher in the unknown spirits. And he did an excellent job because Haki was the problem. Haki was the fault of why the elders and them and the whole group that started together split up. Isn't that deep? I mean, they was, you should have seen, it seemed like they had care for one another. They really did. They act like real brothers. They was against a lot of things that a lot of people males were saying. They clam on top of it. The old head and the young, they get together. They knock all that stuff out. And it just got to the point where Haki, he was the cause of him breaking up from the old heads. And then next thing I know, Haki out traveling, trying to be the spirit of Dr. Sadie. And he just don't know. He just practicing. Yes, he was. He was involved in witchcraft. Yes, he was. The spirit of the Most High showed me that. And I was like, wow. And he even told me, look at his forehead. He said, look at that black spot growing on his head. So that's in the center of his spot represents something. And I was like, man. So now Melly is out there by herself trying to teach. And all he keeps showing you is what white people are saying for 4 hours. Sometimes he get on there and talk, but he is not the same person he used to be. So I don't even entertain him at all. But every now and then I get on there and I see him and I'm like, why is he showing you going back to the vomit, which is the heathens? We in a place in this day and time, we ain't got no business listening to the heathens. I don't know if y'all know that or not. We're not in a position in this day and time to be hearing what the heathens got to say, because the truth be told, let me explain something to y'all. If the heathen has refused to speak out in who we are, you ain't got no business dealing with them. You ain't got no business communicating with them, being friends with them, anything. If they won't own up to who you are. You see, and that's what's sad. And a lot of people don't. The lady that I got a spot, not a spot, but a building, leasing to for my store, she owns it. And you know what? She know who I am. But guess what? I know who she is. And she know who we are as a people. And you know what? One day she asked me, she said, Deborah, are you going to be my friend? If not, I'm not going to be able to make it. I need you all, one of you all, to be my friend because you all are the chosen people. And if I don't have a friend, I'm not going to be able to make it. She knows that she's going to hell. She already know it. You see? And she's telling me if you will be my friend. Last person on the earth I want to be my friend is her because she robbing people. She doing all kind of evil and wicked things. I just found out she went to the food bank and filled up her trucks full of food. Why would the food bank give this woman all this food? Why? You should have seen it, y'all. It's a sight to see. She takes it back to her business. Now, she got probably a good 10 million in the bank. But why are you? This is what's happening. This is what's happening. And that's sad. And y'all, want me to tell you what happened to me? And I know I shouldn't have done it. And I know I wasn't right, but it felt good. It felt good. And I know I wasn't right. And that could have been my flesh, but it was right. But I didn't. Let me tell y'all what happened. I was leaving this one place and I seen this big old 53-footer and I saw all these people out there and I was looking, I said, what are they doing? These people were out on this big parking lot and it's this big old 53-footer. Guess what it had in it? From one end all the way back. Eggs. Eggs, y'all. Only eggs. Father, y'all help me. Help me, Father. Help me. Only eggs, y'all. And them black people were out there. Them Negro people were out there stacking eggs in their cars. Front seat, back seat. People pulling up, putting eggs in their car. Now, you know, we are people who have high cholesterol. A lot of us do, not all of us. Eggs is one of the main things we need to eat less of. But what is in these eggs? You see? That you're going to bring in the center of the worstest part of Missouri, inner city. Park that big old truck and hand out eggs. It would take probably, I'm going to be honest with you, it probably take him a good 2-3 weeks to get rid of all those eggs. That's just how many it is, from one end of the 53 to all the way to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back. Eggs, y'all. Now, you know, ain't no chicken laid them eggs. So I saw the young man get out the truck and I called myself following him. And I asked him, where did you get those eggs? He said, you can tell he was lying. Costco's, they warehouse. I said, but what are you? He said, yeah, I had to get rid of them because when I came to drop them by, they didn't receive them or they didn't accept them. He was saying something of that nature. And I said, Costco's? What would Costco's look like with a truck that got that many eggs in it? That store don't hold eggs like that. The 53-footer truck that had the eggs, you would have to have a big store and nothing but eggs. That's just how many eggs it was. That's just how much it was. Now, where are you traveling in this truck that looked like the name on the thing? You couldn't even make it out because you can see they kind of wiped it off, so you can't really tell the name of the truck. You can't see it. You can't tell the name. And when that young man got out, I said, "Well, why would you?" I was asking him why would he bring those eggs, and he said that he delivered them at Costco's for Costco's, and they come from there. That's a lie, y'all. Costco's don't rumble that way. What are they gonna do with 53 full of eggs? What? He put it in the middle of eggs. Those eggs and those things are cloned. Okay, they have chemical in it that they put in those things. Okay, those are one of their first. How would that way? That was one of the first, I believe, one of the first things that they were able to clone were those eggs. Ain't no chicken on the earth or hen. What is it? No, chicken. It ain't nobody had those laid those eggs, y'all. So they brought them into our community, just like that time they were spraying stuff in our community. I'm sorry, but it's just so sad that the weakness of us, y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. The weakness of our minds in what we did. Look how, like I said, going back to that killing, look how no one is saying anything regarding this killing like they did when Kevin Samuel passed away. No one is clamming on top and saying, "No, we're not going to have this." Why ain't the Hebrew Israelite movement and the awakening not marching from one state to the other down to Buffalo, New York? Why? Why? They won't even get on this devil platform and say too much because they want their page. They don't want them to take them off. That's just how shows you the mindset. But you said you speaking about a higher. He's your protector. How is it you don't do anything but stand around? But when it come down for you hating women, I'm gonna set an example. It's this one prophet. She was chewing out a couple of males that have been on these platforms for some time. And since she been putting her little judgment is what I think is what I don't know, because I don't watch hers either. But every blue moon I'm on there, she passing judgment. But these two particular ones are saying so much hateful things out of nowhere. These men, her judgment toward them, they come on against women. You see, and I'm trying to see how this gonna turn out, y'all. But then the Bible in Matthew 24, it says nation against nation. So something is gonna rumble. Something is gonna happen. Nope, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how they let them do that. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. And he got mad at me. He got mad because I asked him, "Who gave you a truck that big full of eggs?" And I said to him, "That's really typical for how black men does their community. They bring guns so that their community can kill each other. They bring drugs. Now the drugs is being brought in the community for the black men to sell them to their people. You see, the guns are being bought in the community so they can kill up each other. It just, they give you these eggs and you're gonna bring them here because they're gonna pay you a little to bring them in the midst of the community, and you do it just like typical men. Tear down everything that surrounded him, everything, I would really prefer that if you really get into the word and you see what proceed out of the mouth of Yah in the way he is speaking toward these men, you'll say, "When all this time I thought he was talking to all of us." No, he ain't. He ain't never talking to you women. And when he talking to you, you gonna know it. He speaks clearly to what he says what he says, and he means what he says. He don't cut nothing short. When he's talking to you women, and he is in the biblical, he's talking to you. But you need to know what proceed out of his mouth and know when he talking to you. You don't just take what men say and say it, and they apply it to you because he applied to them. What would you say? Looking like Bigfoot, Bigfoot eating being eggs. Mm-mm-mm. That just don't make no sense. And you know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all. You can tell that they said. I've sat there and watched during the pandemic how they were sending all this food into the black community. The black people don't care what it is. They will kill you if you say anything so that they can just get it. When whose mindset is that? The tribe of Judah. Same thing. Same thing. And if you really keep reading the book and letting the Ruach teach you, you'll understand it like Sister Deborah. And matter of fact, you don't understand it more than I do because Yah is waiting to give it to you just that plain and simple. Oh, yes, he is. Because he know these are the dark hours. And he needs you to be the light. You know? He don't want you to just hold back and not say what he give you. He wants you to just open up and say it like he give it to you. And you're going to find yourself saying it exactly like he give it to you. And all you're going to get is ridicule. That's all you are. And they're going to say this and that. And then you're going to feel, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't. No, you don't. Keep on speaking. That's right. And it's not very, I'm a chef by trade. It's not very much you can do with no eggs. It's really not. You can go and buy 3 dozen of eggs and it probably lasts you 3 weeks. And I'm telling you that because in my children's house is 6 of them. And it's how many? When I do their shopping, I think I buy like 3 dozen a month. If it's a month, I'm just showing you. They eat bacon and turkey bacon and eggs. But I'm just saying in the house where there's 6, 3 dozens will last them that month. Give or take, maybe 4. That's when they run out. Once they run out, they might go get another one. But that's it. So where are you going with 100 cases? I mean, he had more than a million. No, it probably was about that many eggs. I'm telling y'all the truth. I kid you not. It's a sight to see. And when you saw it, it was really strange because they were acting like the world had just gave them $1 million. They was just like the way you see if you park, one this way or that way. They were all like this here, y'all. All kind of ways parked just to get the eggs. Like so, I'm like, where are y'all taking up? Where are you getting all these? Why ain't nothing in here saying to y'all? Y'all something wrong with these eggs. Why is it y'all not thinking they don't give y'all nothing? Why are they having a truck, a 53-footer truck in the middle of the inner city giving you eggs? Eggs, y'all. Come on, people. He said, Deborah, when you accept the fullness that is gone, it'll take you to a deeper depth. I mean, it'll take you higher in him because it's saying, okay, I see what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. After he done already spoke it and it's put in there so you can see that this is the end game, then you start to see it and you be like, the more you see it, the more you accept it. And it makes you feel better about the warning that he has already put out. And it wasn't coming to really make you look bad. It's just letting you know he already had predestined, ordained it to go this way. So it's going according to his way. That's why I don't know who can. Okay, let me ask y'all. Do y'all think having a 53-footer truck of eggs with more than 1 million eggs on there, way more, and put in the inner city, the middle of the inner city, and you around the city, you see vacant buildings and just a horrible. And they got a big 53-footer handing out eggs. Come on now. You don't think there's something wrong with them eggs? Yes, it could have it. Yes, ma'am, it could. And that's my whole sad, but I'm looking at them like they know how to do it. They doing it. And you know what he said? He said, well, it ain't no different when you go to the grocery store you eating all that processed. He said they buying all that processed food and all that. I'm like saying, so you know that there's something wrong with these eggs. And he walked away. Man. So you know. You see what I'm saying? Oh, that's sad. It's sad because it's just a lot of things that no matter what you see, and I'm gonna tell you all that same thing. No matter what you see, it's no matter what you understand in the spirit and truth. It's no matter how much light is in before you, on every side of you, and in the back. It don't matter what hedge Yah has around you to protect you. Guess what? Everything is still gonna go according to what He said. And honestly, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. What He has spoken, Hosea 4, chapter 4 and verse 6 is 100 for in this day. Just imagine all those prophets talking about in that day, in the last days. Look at Yeshua HaMashiach. He was talking about what's going to happen in the last days. Who asked him? The disciples said, what would it be like in the last days? So let me tell y'all, it didn't start telling us everything in Revelation. It told us a long time ago, even in Genesis. Look at Jacob. He told the 12 men what it's going to be in the last days. That means all of us, the tribe, the whole 12 tribe, they didn't take heed to nothing he said. Nothing. Judah ain't even read what Jacob said to him to see where he stand in the last days. Exactly what Judah said. Judah said they're going to be lazy. He said they're going to be crouched down and they ain't going to get up. And Judah called them an old lion to tell me in spirit and truth. It's going to go throughout generation all the way to the end. Those tribe of Judah ain't going to mount up to nothing. And when we run around here, want to put them somewhere y'all have not put them, you go right ahead. When it's all said and done, you're going to see it on this side before you see it on the other side. You're going to see it on this side before you see it on the other side. Very suspicious. It's sad. It's sad because so much is going on. And it's almost like when Yah said you're going to be destroyed and they should crush you until you destroy, and that you will go mad for what you see. What are you saying? We could be destroyed from many of things, because he said until you destroyed, until you are destroyed, until you are destroyed. Now, what do I see out of that? When he said that, is that you're going to be destroyed. But something is going to change after you destroy. Does that make sense? Go back to the scriptures in Deuteronomy 28 and read, say, the last 35 verses, and you see how he's telling you how we're going to be destroyed. But when he's talking about that, he's also speaking something like in a land also where the heat and it's like it's heated all summer, all year round. So we do know that it might also stand for something, things are going on in Africa, but also in the United States, where he talks about in Deuteronomy, you're going to be here and you're going to be brought in ship. So there's a lot of things that's taking place that's supposed to lead up to the people being destroyed, because he said until they're going to have you in this here curse, in this captivity, until you are destroyed. That's powerful to me, because that leads me to realize that they have reject again truth. They reject truth again. Remember, he said, my people. He called you his people. So we know it's his people that's rejected. Thou hast reject truth, and I shall reject your children. That's going back into the last days, y'all. Your children. In Hosea, letting them know your children, which is us. I'm going to reject them. See, it's so many verses, even in Torah, all the way through, even in Genesis, telling us about this last days. And what we doing, if it's telling us on the right hand, we're turning to the left. We don't want to hear what the right hand is saying. We're turning to the left and doing it 100% purposely. Because if we wasn't doing it purposely, Romans chapter 1 wouldn't be saying what it's saying. Deuteronomy wouldn't be saying what it, Deuteronomy 28 wouldn't be saying what it's saying. Genesis 49, well, Jacob wouldn't have been saying what he's saying. And someone had got on and they was talking about, when I was telling you all about, he put Abraham totally down. Every man that he used, listen to what I'm saying, that he told great things to, he had to put them down, y'all. He had to bring them. When I said put them down, I mean take their flesh, take them out of the realm of their flesh and bring them into the spirit. Or he had to take them into a deep dream. You see? Because if they natural, they ain't got no sense. They can't receive nothing. They're not people or men that receive things in the natural. He has to put them down. And he's not in the business of doing this in this day and time. They too far away from what he have said. He have already prophesied everything. Everything still has to go according to what he have said. And we just got to trust that he know what he doing. Without a doubt. He knows what he doing. And we don't have to trust. What they're saying is, you all shut your mouth. Trust in every word we're saying. Do it the way we say it. Walk, talk, act, dress, look the way we see it. And shut your mouth. Ain't no God. Ain't no Yahuwah. We just talking. It's us. We the king. We the leader. We the ruler. That's really what they saying, and they don't even understand that's what they saying. Don't listen to the higher power. Don't listen to spirit and truth. Don't walk in the light. Don't walk upright. There's no narrow gate. It's only broad. Come our way. We're heading to the broad gate. Come go with us. Because you don't see none of them gathering together to go down in Buffalo, New York. Not one. They gathered to a Farrakhan, Million Man March. What was you marching for? What were you marching for? Want me to tell you what they was marching for? Farrakhan was making them heathens. He said, I can bet you I can get enough of us down here. And when we get them down here, they're going to have hotels. They're going to have food. So not only are the hotels going to make a lot of money from my people, restaurants going to make a lot of money, stores is going to make a lot of money, everybody's going to make a lot of money, and we're going to send them back home with nothing. A bunch of men. A bunch of men. And then it was a time where you had a lot of women complaining about how their husband react after they came home from the Million Man March. And want me to tell y'all something that's really sad about it? Guess what? The Million Man March was also breaking many households just to get them there. You see that? Homes were broken. Financial. Because these men wanted to be there. They wanted to be somewhere. They didn't think that, wait a minute, this man is not serving Yah. He just they didn't think that, oh, he just want to get us down there so we can make that state a lot of money. See, they didn't think. Because that's what it was about. You know how many homes were broken? How many came back mad? Many lost their jobs. Many took time to come. So who you think prepared them to come to the Million Man March? Women. Women. Women gave up vacation time, holiday pay, all kind of ways to make sure the men get there for that event that says Million Man March for the black men. You see, they didn't come back with no spirit of Yah. They didn't come back with no righteousness, no just. They just went down there. So let me explain to you all this, what I'm saying. I don't know where I'm coming from with this. That's the sadness of it. How it's a million of them can come together for nothing before one or two can be joined for something. That's how sad it is. That's how sad it is. 1,000,000 man march in this United States of America just to make the heathens, the hotel expense, the restaurants, the stores, and every other places, rental cars, y'all, airplane tickets. You see how he did that? Brought them there just to show the heathens that, see, I can get 1,000,000 man to come together to make wealth from you all. See, y'all didn't catch it like that. And nobody won't. That's what you still call spirit and truth. The truth of the matter. Because spirit knows it all, which is a higher. And that's sad. It's just sad to even think about it because it's scary right now as I speak. The way the Hebrew Israelite movement and the Hebrew Israelite awakening among the men. That's how sad it is. Just like that mess there. They come together for nothing. And did you know that if you have 100 different groups of Hebrew Israelite movement, 100 different group in this United States, every last one of them be enemies with each other. That's why Sister Deborah said that why they on here trying to, men coming on this here page trying to say something to me. Why you ain't got your butt over there trying to do something about what that heathen did? But you on a page of a female that's a prophetess. I'm not going to threaten you like a lot of them do, where he says, touch not my anointed and me them no harm. I'm going to say, Father, just have mercy on them, for they know not what ground level they've stepped on. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to say, because a lot of them, these women, when they say something, they get on there when, y'all said, touch not my anointed and me. No, I'm not going to play that game with you. I'm going to say, Father, have mercy on them. For they don't even understand what they're dealing with. They know not. And a lot of them know, but I'm just wanting y'all to just have mercy. More mercy on them. Forgive them. Because they don't know no better. They don't know nothing about spirit and truth. They don't even know how to walk upright. They don't know how to live just. So they come on this platform wanting you to hear what they got to say because they ain't got nothing else. They ain't got nothing to say. They ain't got no platform to say nothing, to voice their voices. Because when they have one, ain't nobody listen to them. That's how deep and sad it is, y'all. It's real sad. It's real sad. But don't ever let nobody take your life. You heard those 10 virgins. What did those other 5 that had the oil say? No, I ain't giving you nothing. Go get your own. I ain't giving you nothing. Why? Because it ain't intended. It wasn't the will of the Father. Did they have any light? No way. They didn't do nothing all the time they were here. And that's what you're seeing amongst the Hebrew Israelites. They want to claim, we the people, but they ain't following nothing that demonstrate Yeshua HaMashiach's walk, nor the Ruach HaKodesh and his power. That's what they need to be looking for, the power. They could care less about the power. Another lady was talking about the 5-4 ministry. That is something that's really needed. Because, see, the 5-4 ministry will be the ones that will go into Chicago. The 5-4 ministry will be the ones that will go down to Buffalo, New York. No fear in them, none whatsoever. And they will stand on any mountaintop of a courtroom at any time. But because the leaders of these churches and all these other places have rejected spirit and truth, y'all is not suffering nothing. But you know what the word said? The whole earth is off course. I was like, wow, we messed up, Father, y'all. We messed up from the floor. We messed up. We are messed up. So, Sister Deborah, did anyone want to leave a word with everyone? I mean, I want to tell the sister that we will be praying for you again and again and again. I'm asking the Most High to give me what he gave me regarding seizures, because I'm going to tell you something, to be honest. I was sitting here just saying, when you had mentioned it again here on live, I was saying, well, come on, Father, give it to me. You gave it to me before. I can remember it. I can't remember it, but I know that he had gave me some information regarding having seizures and really what it was. You have to go and, but yeah, I'm going to get back with you on that. But yes, just lift her up in prayer. Okay. He know who you're talking about. So pray for her. Let us all do that. But Sister Deborah going to say we had a wonderful night today. And what I learned is how I could kick them off of the live chat. See, I didn't know I could do that. But that's what I do. When they first come in, they ain't giving you all nothing. They just calling me out. And I love it. I love it. I love it. And the reason why I love it is the devil knows we're at the end. He knows it. And anybody comes on here, they come in only because they know what is on this line. Because why my page? Why? I don't have subscribers and likes. I don't have nothing but very few. Why? That's what the young lady asked those heathens. Why y'all all on her page? She ain't got nothing but a few subscribers. And at that time, I had like 3,800. Why ain't y'all over at the pages that got thousands? You know, y'all over here on hers, you know, and they didn't pretty much understand what the young lady was saying. She was like saying, well, she must be saying something. Y'all all over, you know, she was really, really getting on them. She was getting on them heathens, just telling them. I was like, oh, wow. But I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all, and I love you. And I want to say, these people just is crazy talking about a stimulus check. Uh, 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 but I want to say to you all, let's pray for our sister. Put on worship music. I know that's right. All right. Praise the Most High. Ahaya. All right. All right. So we're going to keep you up in prayer. And y'all, and we're talking about with a sincere. Sincere means where you feel the individual that you putting before the Most High Yah in prayer. You feel that person. You don't have to, you can remember the color. You can remember the name. But even if you can't even call it out and can't remember, y'all know who you're talking about. He already know. But you do it with a heart of sincere. Because if you wanted someone to pray for you, when you wanted it to come out of a sincere heart so that it can go up to a higher. He said, when the praises come up, the blessings come down. But those praise have to go up. They have to go up being sincere and feeling it. Let yourself feel the prayer for your sister. Okay? That it goes up before the altar, the throne of the Most High Yah. So I, Sister Deborah, say to you all, shalom and shalom, and I will be back again. Shalom and shalom.